Collibra. So
Okay.
let me just
Through the
start it
code you
from
meant to
there.
say.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mm, so, so this workflow is asking me for the
Nandini,
subject line.
Vinod here.
Mhm.
Um, Hello.
Yes, yes, yes.
Could you, if everyone okay, can you please give a demo on quality dimension, quality part? Uh,
Data quality. Tomorrow, let's check about this layout. As in the previous session, we were covering the workflow topics. I thought I can
okay.
continuously like take it. Yeah,
Hmm.
tomorrow we shall start with it. We complete a workflow today. We shall start it from tomorrow.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Yeah. So, like, what would be the subject line that my like the email should be having? So I can give and the message that should be contained. This is in case in for example, if we want to uh, let a group of users know that upgrade is happening in Collibra and Collibra's TGC will not be available for 3 to 6 p.m. today. Likewise, we can configure this workflow to that respective users, and then in the subject line we can say there is an upgrade, and during this time this will not be available. Likewise, so for the use case we can send this kind we can have this kind of workflow. So and then I'm having a so in this workflow I'm having three kind of like input fields. One is a subject and message, and then a radio button like which will send the workflow. So this workflow has been started, and yeah, the mail like with the subject and the message will be delivered to the users. So let me show this workflow in here. So email group of users. Yeah, let's see how to configure a workflow. I will open a new diagram, and I will show how to configure this email group of users. I will be opening. So I have already sent you this
This, yeah, there's something called as Kamunda that also a bit related to this, I guess, right?
I'm not sure of
Okay.
that. So like okay, so how to have this Eclipse Studio and how to what are the required prerequisites for creating a workflow? I have sent you in the like in this last session materials. So you can also follow that, and you can install Eclipse, and then the jar file is, and then like you need to configure a jar file inside the Collibra's jar file, and then we can create this workflows. So like inside in this folder we have Java and resources. Inside this SRC main resources we have diagrams. I'll create a new diagram now. So it will be at the it will be a flowable diagram. So yeah, we can configure workflows in this flowable diagram. I'll be creating giving a name Collibra users, and for identifying our workflow uniquely I'll be giving this date 24 2023, and this is the file name I have created this, and then I will be opening this file name. So now like the file name for any kind of workflow there should be a pool at the first step. So I will drag and drop a pool element. So the pool, we have three properties in here: general, process, and business. So general, like it is not much important, but process. So this name will be like while I'm searching for workflow, I got in global create, I got here email 650 like that. So I can find this email plus 650 because in this name I have given like that. So it will be visible while searching in global create. So my I should give a unique name. Have this date with it. 4 23, so that yeah, it will be unique. name and the pool process ID should be unique among the Collibra DGC workflows, and also the file name in here should be same with this pool process ID. So if I click on this pool, I can configure this and I can configure the process ID too. So if these two are not same, if the file name and pool process ID is different, then it will not allow us to deploy the workflow itself. It will throw some error. So and so it is yeah. So okay,
So
the pool is
Nandini, just
configured.
one
Now
question.
let's
So the pool process ID should be unique or pool process name should be unique in Collibra?
ID
Okay,
ID should be
ID.
unique and name should also be unique. So yeah, if we are searching for the particular name and if two workflow exists, it won't be like will be confusing which one is created by us. So both
Okay.
ID and name should be unique.
Okay, okay.
So, and then yes, like we'll be starting the workflow with the start event, and then this workflow will be having a email task. So I can drag it from here and then I can connect using this sequence flow, or otherwise I can just search email task here and then I'm ready. And then if I like we have this for end event, so it created the end event. So let's configure those properties too. Okay. So while we just start this workflow, it is asking us for three parameters. I just clicking on this workflow. It is asking for subject, message, and a radio button. So let's configure this in here, Eclipse. So for designing this kind of workflow, so I will be going into this form. So like a series of input variables need to be created. So in this form, I'll be creating a new variable. So ID will be recipient. First, like what would be the recipient? Who would be the recipient for this workflow? I'll be configuring that. So in this case, it is default. I will give my username. This is the ID of this variable and the name and the type. It would be the kind of string. So default by default this value is user. So it will generate while I'm triggering the workflow. This will generate this email to my like username. So in Collibra, if we are having a set of data towards set of business towards, so we can trigger the workflow to those roles. We can give pass those roles here and then we can trigger. For example, if we are triggering a workflow for a asset business term, we'll be seeing that in this approval process. So in that approval process, if you are triggering a workflow in a business term, it will take like the committee manager variable from the item itself. So if the domain is having a committee manager, then the workflow variable will also be assigning the same. So the workflows related to those item will be triggered to those set of committee managers inside that domain. Likewise. So here I'm configuring my username. Let me check my username once. So in case I have error. Just give me a minute, guys. I will double check my username in Collibra and I'll share my screen again. Yeah, I'm done. Let me share it. That is me. So yeah. So the recipient would be defaultly like it will be generating to my email ID, and yeah, this is the name. And if I want to use this recipient's variable, I have already stored like for this ID, this would be the recipients. I have added this value to this variable. So if in case I want to refer this recipient in like subsequent task in this workflow, I can use this ID to call this variable. So yeah, this would be unique in this workflow. So ID should be unique inside this workflow, and whether it is readable, no. So like while creating this workflow, we don't like while creating this workflow, we don't have option to see the people like the recipients. So it's only asking for subject message and send email. Likewise, if we do not want to show this variable in the Collibra's workflow in Collibra's TGC, we can make it as false and
But for
writable false.
now,
The people can't edit.
keep it true. For now, keep it true, because already you in the
Okay.
previous one you have made it false, right? So make it true so that we can see it.
Mm. Okay. So the writable flow, and if there is any error or if there is any error in the naming, we won't get the file deployed. So if it is getting deployed successfully, then there is no much error in it. So let's navigate to our workflow. So this error is because like we need to have Collibra API version 2 here. So let me copy it in here. So we have to use this as namespace, or otherwise that a warning will be appearing. So I'm changing my namespace for Collibra API version 2, and I will deploy another time. So for renaming the file, so as I already deployed a file with this name, I can't deploy it again. So I will rename and I will make it as new. So for renaming, we need to click on refactor and rename to 3 underscore plus or underscore 01. Let me I have renamed in here. I will change the pool process ID. I will save it again. It is not saved. Okay, it is saved. So let's deploy this workflow. Otherwise, like use API version 2, like this kind of warnings will be there. So let me deploy it again. Settings, workflows.
Can you delete the old workflow?
Yes, yes. I can delete. Let's try deleting. Out. Try deleting. If I have an option, I can delete. Here, the delete option is there. I can delete. See, yeah. So let's up this slide. Yes. Okay. Delete. Yeah. And refresh. And I will reload this.
So Nani, uploading itself is deployment.
Yeah, we are deploying our workflow. Yes. So once our workflow is deployed, then we need to configure some additional
Hmm.
system. It's giving. Mm, okay, let me check. But it's not yet agree. Okay, let me check this. So for silencing this warning.
Actually, it is saying that that got deprecated. That means the call which you are making is no more available. You'll not be able to do. So you need to find out another API, something like that. For more details, see API to migration tables.
Mm, but I'm so like
Control F, you somewhere
today
you.
morning also I.
No. With the old string, try to check somewhere some other reference might have done.
Okay,
With
okay,
API,
let me check
Control
that.
F. No, in this itself you can check Control F.
Mm-hmm.
Give
API,
that not API to. Just give, yeah.
API
Till there
V2,
you
right?
give. Control F, Control V. No, you put the Control V. Copy paste it. No, oh,
So
this one.
this one
No,
you're asking.
no. That whole thing you copy. Yeah, copy and remove that two because you are giving prior. No. Remove two. API v2. Remove. Yeah.
Now,
That's only one reference you have. Okay. Okay.
let me check. So once our flow like it's get deployed, we'll be having overview and flow. In this flow, we can see the flow of our flow and then the configuration in XML. So for in case if I want to like edit the recipients alone, then I can go and do it in here. I can click on edit and then here I can find my username and I can edit it in here for some other username or some other user role. So this kind of small modification, like if I want to change so email subject will be showing in the workflow. So if I want to make it as email subject name message, some kind of variable change, we can do it in here. But like we can't do a massive change in the flow itself. So small in case it's a small modification, we can change and we can save it in here. Otherwise, we can click cancel. So okay, and the XML script for our workflow will be in here. And the overview,
So
it's
can't we, Nandini, can't we create the workflow here itself? Because it's
no,
already
no, no.
showing you can edit and save.
Yeah, we can't in this, like if you want to drag and drop one more script task here,
You
we
don't
don't have
have.
that.
Okay,
Mm.
got it.
Small modifications are no. So the target namespace I have changed and deployed it again. I can directly change it from here. So now,
You don't
like
have
when,
other controls.
yeah, just small, like changing this variable names alone.
Understood.
And also the script also is different for if we are having an email task like this activity elements, like in this, we can't write the code. It is very complex. So like if we are doing it in Eclipse, it will be like that UA will be very user friendly. It is too heavy to understand. So yeah. And yeah. Overview, like in the store view, I can have a description. Just work.
So we are still configuring or we are using the workflow now.
We have deployed the workflow and then we
Okay.
can add some more configuration. For example, we can
Okay.
make it as global or we can, yeah. So those kind of specifications inside Collibra. So yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
And Nandini, if I want to attach a file or a report to the email, can that be done? For
Yeah, that
example,
can.
For example, I have something
Yes.
called as flight cancellation
Yeah.
report.
So,
Flights which get cancelled. So
mm,
I do see my requirement is like this. So
mm,
in data quality, so every time I scan and every single day I scan the data and find the number of cancellations or a pattern of cancellation, and I want a mail to be drafted and sent to the corresponding recipients. Okay. So in that case, how do we do it? So if I wanted to attach that report, which the um, data quality screen, I mean application has done it.
okay. So, like in the Colibras DQ, like in this Colibras DQ website or engine, you will be downloading that report. So, in this Colibras
Okay.
DTC, you want to attach that report, right?
Yeah,
Correct?
yeah, yeah. In this
The report
workflow,
have
I mean, in this email, I wanted to attach the report.
yeah, we can do that. So, like in the start itself, we need to add one more property in here. So,
Do we have
subject,
something?
email, message, and attachment
Yep,
maybe.
Attachment,
attachment.
attachment was not shown, right? In
Like in
Eclipse.
this,
Yeah.
yeah, a file is there in here, the data type.
File is there.
Hmm. Yes. File upload a file. So we need
Okay,
to
so
use
this
this
will get
type.
attachment.
Yeah, that attachment will be saved, and then that attachment will should be used in this mail task,
Okay.
and then yeah, we can do likewise.
Nandi, one general question. What kind of like variety of workflow generally we create?
So,
One I can understand this email thing. One I can send some maybe approval reports. And how much complex the workflow generally we are creating in Colibra?
yeah,
Does it process something? Do that transformation on the files? It doesn't do all this, right?
no, no operations on files, just like automating a set of tasks. That's it. So this 10 out of the box workflow we have. So approval process for getting an approval for a business term or some kind of
Okay.
like yeah, for our requirement, and assign owner to a dataset, we may have a workflow and cancel process, escalation
Okay, so
process,
these
issue
are
management.
the
So these
actions
are
we
the
can
workflows.
do via okay. Voting
Yeah.
supporter
So
simple
like
approval
providing
flow.
sets.
Hmm.
Yeah. So if in case we need to add some more domain specific requirement, we need to work upon that. We need to modify and then we need to defer.
Okay.
Yes. And yeah. So now let's
Can
get into this.
can uh, can you show me a little bit complex? I
Yeah.
mean,
So I
workflow.
can show. Yeah.
Yeah, another workflow creation will help.
Yeah.
Definitely.
See, this
And
So
is
will
let
it
more
me
go
complex,
well?
and we
Yeah.
need to
This is
understand it.
too complex, I feel.
let me quickly complete this. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me quickly do this and let's do this. Yeah. So I can have a description and start label. This will the start label I can search. This is the process name and I can search it in global create. So the start event, if some for in case of start event, so for post data ingestion workflow, if any kind of data ingestion is happening in Sequoia, for example, we are registering a JDBC, then if we have that start event in here, then once ingestion is happened, the workflow will be triggered automatically and it will ask the user to assign data owner likewise. And we can add rules. So if we want to have this workflow for a domain or a community inside Collibra, we can do that. So like for this accounting terms
So
or
can we have
monthly.
something like this? Like if someone creates any community or any kind of deletions, so send a mail to certain people. Deletion of a community or deletion of some domains.
Yeah,
So send a mail. Can we do
uh,
that also?
yeah, can we? Yeah, we can do that. But it is not like for triggering a workflow after a deletion that is not available in Colibras out of the box. We need to work on. We need to build the scripts for that. We can't modify the existing one, so we need
No,
to
no,
do
no.
it ourselves.
No,
And we
if someone is
yeah,
deleting, see, what I'll do is I'll try to create my own community because I have privileges and I feel that this is not appropriate and I'll delete it. So
yes.
when I delete the community, can I configure email triggering workflow, wherein when I click on a delete button, it should trigger a email to all the respective admins that I have deleted so and so.
Yeah, that is possible. As yeah, that event is happening inside Collibra. Yeah, that is possible.
So we do using these workflows only, or we have some configurations within Collibra itself?
No, we need to have workflow.
Okay, for that.
So, yeah, for the events happening inside Collibra, there is no automatic mail triggers. In DQ, Collibra DQ, we have so, but in
Configured one, right?
Collibra's
Yeah.
DGC, we have work. Yes. So, and for this, for my workflow will be for this business asset or data asset. So I can apply to that particular asset type, and then I can add the role. So who will
Can
be
you once
starting the workflow?
can you once click on that button, events, start events button, edit?
Okay.
Yeah. What all things are there? Asset added,
Change
asset removed.
asset
See,
type, domain type.
changed, status changed, asset domain changed. Okay, good.
But the changes happening inside assets. Domain was removed.
I guess community also should be there in that case. Okay.
Want to execute our particular domain, then we can have domain system.
What is this data classification? Is it part of data quality, or is it part of data governance?
Like data classification, if we are ingesting like JDBC injection inside Collibra, will be having schemas and tables. So we can create some kind of domains such as a sales domain inside, like that is an asset inside Collibra, and we can relate that to a set of tables so that we may find the relation among the tables. So this table has sales data like this. So those kind of
Oh,
data classification, that is also kind of relation. Yes.
okay. I thought
One
it is something related to machine learning models.
yeah, no. Yep. Okay. And so based on that, this event, we can trigger this workflow. And who would be the starting the workflow? Maybe like stewards and data stewards, committee manager. I can give those people's name. And yeah, for stopping who has started to stop the workflow and recent tasks. So based on our requirements, we can give the authority. And here, yeah, we any signed in user can start the workflow. If we enable, the other user can also start this workflow. And then show in global create. If I click this, then it will be shown in this global create icon. And the perform candidate user check before the workflow start. If there are set of users they inside the workflow, like subject matter expert should be doing this kind of events. And like in approval workflows, we have business towards involved and other stakeholders involved. So it will perform a check, and then if all the roles are assigned only, it will start the workflow. So if we enable that, it will perform that check. And yeah, if this workflows can only once at a specific time. Like once this, if we are already starting a workflow and if it is in progress for a particular asset, then there should be like again and again I should not trigger, so that the task will be sent to the stakeholders and other roles associated with that workflow. So only once at the time a specific resource. So if I check on this, once the workflow is started, the workflow starting option will be disabled on that asset page. So this will we can see in this approval process. So these are the general configurations. And then let me start this workflow now. Double create. I think I need to refresh. Okay, sorry, it is in disabled state. I will enable it. So it is in disabled. So if you click on enable workflow, it will be enabled, and then we can find it in global create. So it is showing the recipient, but it is not writable. So yeah, it is showing that, but yeah, we can't change that. Subject is the workflow has started, and it will be triggered to my mail ID, and I'll be receiving that subject as well as message. So now let's move on to, so this is a simple email workflow. Then next move on to this approval process. So once like this approval process is called, once asset is created inside Collibra, in case for example we can take a business asset. So if it is created inside Collibra, it should be like reviewed by the subject matter expert whether the asset description and the like the asset name is correct, or it is required, or it is not necessary. They can review that, and then if they have accepted, then the asset status will be changing to under review, and then it will be moving on to the stakeholder. He can provide comment, so he'll be seeing that subject matter expert has reviewed this assets definition and this asset. So he'll be providing comment. Maybe he may provide comments such as, okay, I approve, okay, this is good, this is not necessary, maybe likewise. Then once this comment is done, then it will be processing the comment, it will be storing the comment, and then this workflow will be moving to the stewards. So the stewards maybe 10 to 20 business stewards or some kind of stewards inside this like for the domain. He can vote for approval if okay, if there are 10 members, 6 people are approving them and 4 people are rejecting, then based on that majority it will be accepted or rejected. So if get accepted, then it will notify the stakeholders that this is accepted and this will be like going in live, and start user will also be notified and it will be ended. So in case they are rejecting, that will also be notified to the stakeholders, and it will be notified to the start users, and then he can again maybe change some kind of, based on these comments he can change some definitions, or he can like alter that, and he can like again he can start the workflow. So let's just see that in Collibra how it goes, and then we can see the properties and configurations. So I have like access to this 00704 community, enterprise community. So this, for this example, I will take a business term. So in this finance business glossary, this is a business like glossary domain, and I'm having business terms and acronyms here. Now I will create a new business term here, and the name will be, so it is created. I will navigate to the asset page. So yesterday I have deployed this workflow, approval process NM10. So let me start this workflow. So once it is created, it is in candidate status. So let's see how the status changes. So I'm starting this workflow from this assets page. As in, if I check my responsibilities, so for this domain, I am I am the business steward, I am the committee manager, I am the stakeholders, and I am the subject matter expert. So for all this, for the stakeholder also, it will be asking for my comments, and for reviewing also it will be asking like prompting response from my screen, as I am the subject matter expert. So first it is asking for review. So in this workflow, if we see, when a start user start the workflow, then it moves us this review definition. So I will as a assign the subject matter expert, I will review the definition, approve, provide comment,
Can you do again? Can you do again? Where you got it?
start this
You
work.
got under tasks, or how did you get that after
Okay,
triggering?
this okay. I have already deployed. So okay, this task you are asking, it will
No.
be, it
Okay,
itself
okay.
will
You,
show up.
yeah, yeah. Tasks. Okay, okay, got it.
Once I click on this, it itself will show up line. Yeah, it will show. Okay. So yeah, provide comment. So if we see in here, once the review definition is done and I have approved that, so So mark as under review, and it is asking for comment from stakeholders. So if you see, it is the status of the asset is changed from candidate to under review, and it is asking comment from stakeholders. So this sub process is started. So I have provided the comment, and here we have a task for processing the comments. So this is a script task. This script task, like, it will be asking the subject matter expert to process the comment. So once the stakeholder is provided with his comment, then the subject matter expert should click on this process comment, and then it will be processed. Then it is asking for approval. So once this process is done, it is asking for the steward for approval. So it is moving on in here. The task has been completed. As I have approved, steward has approved. So I have voted for approval, and it is accepted, and it will be notified to the start users, stakeholders, and then yeah, the task is completed. That's it. So now the asset ID will also be changed to, like, the status will be changed to accepted. So if in case I need to, like, critically manage a domain, a business glossary maybe, or some other domains policies or rules, some other domains. So if I want to check each and every element should be proper and accurate, and it should be notified to all the people inside this domain, then I can configure this kind of workflow, so that now the stakeholders also got an idea of this business term, what is this business term mean, and subject matter
Okay.
expert, what is this
So
cycle.
Nandini, yeah, from where did you see the workflow? More? Is
Here,
it more?
yeah. So
From the business,
yeah, here
from
as
the
there
business
are
term.
many work.
Ah, yeah,
Huh,
okay.
yeah, in this business system asset page I can see here, as we have many, I'm checking it in more. So if you are to having 2 and 3, it will be shown in here. So in more we are having abroad process NM. So I can start it again. So now let's check on this workflow configuration, and then let's move on to this property. So let me check on this, or otherwise, yeah, let's check out this properties, and then let's see how it got deployed. And yeah. So in this approval process, let me click on the start user, and in the start users, once if I want to get to know, like, if I want to know the details of a particular task, then I need to click on, and then properties. Inside properties, the main configuration. So let's start with, so this is in the pool approval process, and first we have configured a pool, and then start even. So we have form in here. So if we see, if like, we have this form. So while starting a workflow, starting this workflow, this kind of variables should be created. Not expanding. Okay. So in our previous case, we had given only one variable, like one variable as default. Like the recipients is only default, and other than that, everything like is text area and the string we had got it dynamically. Here, while starting the workflow, everything is given provided with the default value, all the variables. That's why while triggering the workflow, it don't ask any kind of inputs from me. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
here, if we see,
All the default values and read only.
yes, read one. Like, it is not read only. So readable is false only. So this things,
Yeah,
just I
readable
have
for.
triggered the workflow, and it directly, yeah, move while I'm triggering the workflow, it directly moved on for this first review.
Yeah,
For example,
got it, got
yeah,
it.
just yeah.
It
So
is not
like,
prompting for
uh,
any
any kind of
inputs.
inputs for us. So it's directly moving on to the stakeholder. Yeah, review by subject. Directly moves on to subject matter expert. Will be subject matter expert will be tasked to approve or reject that. So in the start users,
how much complex the